everybody, and welcome back to Driving with John. Right up front, that pretty much all the girls can just stop watching the video. Okay? This is for guys. Now, between us guys, we all know the girls are still listening, so just saying. Alright. Basically, I'm going to talk about being a guy, being a husband, being a father, being a Christian, in the United States today. So, basically, out of all of those, I'm going to have to, obviously Christianity is first. And then second would be being a husband. For me personally, this is how it is for me. As a Christian man that's married, my marriage is very important to me. Matter of fact, my marriage is the most important thing to me. And I think it's a lot of the mistakes that are made in marriages are so easily avoided if you just do a couple of small things. I've been married 22 years. I've made lots of mistakes. But there are some simple rules that I've had for myself that I think has helped me a lot. So, all the other guys that are listening right now, these are the simple rules for me. I don't put myself in situations to make a mistake. Because as a guy, there's temptations everywhere in today's society. Literally, you turn on the TV, there's temptations. You open your phone, there's temptations. You drive down the road, there's temptations. So let's take those three for example. What you watch on TV. Now you're in control of that. You're in control of what you watch on TV. Why is it important? Well, you want your wife to feel, and if you have daughters, you want your daughters to feel that they're not just an object. I'll give you a good example. My wife and I, when we watch shows, I learned this from my dad, and my son does the same. When something comes on TV that's not appropriate, and you know what I mean by not appropriate, if I have to explain, then there's already another problem. But when something comes on TV that's not appropriate, I look away, or I look down, or I take my hat and cover my eyes, because as you all already know, I wear a hat almost all the time. My wife likes that, and I like doing it. Because there's no reason to have that right in your face. And there's no reason to make your wife feel objectified at that point. So just look away. I mean, it doesn't benefit you to watch that crap. So, and your daughters are watching too. If you're drooling at some girl on TV, what kind of example are you setting for your daughters? Or your son? I mean, really, as, a man of the house, I know that's archaic sounding, but as the man of the house, you should be the trendsetter. So you want people to be modest and virtuous and, have good work ethic and all of those things. It's on you. You need to teach that. And not just say it, you need to do it. So that's for TV. For your phones, okay? You may think that you can look at something on your phone and your wife and your daughters and your son will never know. And you know what? That may be true, but there are still consequences. More likely it's not true. More likely what's done in the dark will come to the light because that's just how things work. Bad things always get found out. But again, there are consequences. It changes the way you think and the way you see things. And how would you like it if you were, doing something like that, looking on your phone and things you shouldn't be looking at, and then your son and your daughter came by and picked up your phone and saw that on your phone? All of a sudden now it's a do what I say and not what I do. Well, that doesn't work. And it's just, it's one of those things. It's like you eat junk food, you get fat. If you put junk in your eyes, junk's going to come out. So, not to mention it devalues your wife, your daughters, females as a whole. So, and obviously this is kind of old school, but if you're looking at pictures, same thing. When I was a kid, it wasn't uncommon for a teenage boy to find a Playboy or a Penthouse under his dad's mattress. My dad didn't do that. My dad was an extremely modest man. You couldn't even talk about the bra on the front of a car without his face turning red because you said the word bra. And I love that about my dad. And I, because I've been desensitized some, it doesn't affect me the same. But I do protect myself against it as much as I can. So, that's where I stand on that. And then, finally, it's driving down the street. I've never been one of those guys to go into a strip club or an adult bookstore or anywhere else where it's just blatantly disgusting. I'm sorry, I can't think of another word for it. Okay, it's basically degrading all women. You're degrading your wife, you're degrading your mother, you're degrading your daughters just by walking into and being a part of that society. I'm sorry, you are. Because women are not to be looked at as objects. I love my wife, and honestly, I married, I know this is supposed to be a thing you're not supposed to say, but I married up. I mean, she's way better than I am, and I proudly say that because there's nothing wrong with that. So basically, don't put yourself in a position to make a mistake. Don't put yourself in a position to do things you shouldn't be doing. Whether they'll get found out or not, it's not right. Never be alone with a girl that's not your wife. It doesn't make sense. Don't put yourself in a position to make those mistakes. If your wife is as important to you as she should be, you should always be mindful of situations like that. Not to mention in today's society, anything could be accused of you, and there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. So you're protecting yourself that way too. But more importantly, you're protecting your marriage. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I just being a husband. That's all I wanted to say about that. Being a husband, being a Christian, your marriage needs to come first. Your wife needs to come first. Then your kids. Your kids are important. Kids are a lot easier. No offense to the women that still are listening. Kids are a lot easier because women, they have their own language. Sometimes it's kind of confusing, Instead of saying I want to go shopping, they say I have nothing to wear. Things like that. It doesn't make sense to me. Guys are much more, straightforward about it. If they want to go shopping, they'll say, hey, I want to go buy a pair of jeans, Girls are like, I have nothing to wear. Which, guys, that means you're supposed to take her shopping. So, kids are a lot easier. Kids are more, yes, what you say matters, but what you do matters more. If you're telling your kid to be ethical and you're being unethical, your kid's going to be unethical. If you're telling your kid to have self-discipline, but you have no self-discipline, your kid's going to have no self-discipline. Actions matter. When you're raising kids, actions matter more than anything else. Whatever you want your kids to do, you should be doing those things. I value my wife. I want my kids to value my wife. So I'm constantly showing value to my wife, not only because she is very valuable to me, but also because my kids will see that. My daughters will know they need to be valued. My son will know that he needs to value his wife. He needs to love his wife. See, it's all a cycle, and it's up to us if we continue the cycle or we break it. If you're raised that way and you had a dad like that, and you follow in his footsteps, good for you. If you didn't have a dad that was like that, and you learned a lot of bad habits, the cycle could stop with you. It's your choice. And I know that's easier said than done. It's a process. But start the process now. Don't wait. Don't wait for anything else. Raising your children and loving your wife are the most important things you'll do on the face of the earth. They're more important than what you do for a living. They're more important than what you do for a neighbor. Probably the only thing more important than that is God himself, Jesus Christ. So, and if you're following Jesus Christ, you're going to do these things naturally anyway, because God's going to change you from the inside out. So you're eventually going to do these things anyway. But I don't know if this is helping anybody, but these are things I've found through time. I'm not the best husband, and I'm sure in a private setting my wife would probably tell you some stories that would make you go, yeah, he's a hypocrite. But I do my best, and I try really hard. And when it comes to temptations, that is my biggest wall I build. I refuse to put myself in those positions. It doesn't do anybody any good. And that 2 seconds of gratification that you might get from looking at a picture or whatever else could happen is not worth a lifetime of grief that you're going to get. And consequences that you're going to get. So, you made a vow to be married to that woman, to love her, until the day that you die. That's a solemn vow between you and God. You break that vow? Oh man, I'm sorry. You need to love that woman. If you don't like the way that she's treating you, don't demand her to treat you differently. Change the way you treat her. Eventually, she'll come around. That's how human beings are. Outside of relationships, outside of marriage, all of those things. If you're just have a friend that you've known for years, and that friend does something that upsets you or offends you, well, the easiest thing to do would be to be mad at that friend, right? But instead of doing that, be nice to that friend, And if you have a kind of relationship where you can be honest with that friend. Because that's what you really need, sincerity, honesty, values in relationships, with friends, with spouses, with kids. So, I know I'm rambling on, but basically, guys, what I'm saying is, if you're a Christian man, and your focus is on God, God tells you need to treat your wife like Jesus treats the church. You want to know how Jesus treats the church? Forgives the church every single time they screw up. And they screw up all the time. Blesses the church with all kinds of blessings they don't deserve. All the time. He never forsakes the church. And I don't mean to sound angry about it, but I'm just trying to put emphasis behind the importance of, if things aren't the way you want them to be, other people changing is not the solution. Look at yourself first and foremost, and do what you need to do to correct yourself. Yes, everybody needs correction. To this day, I still need correction. So I can't speak what it's like on the flip side of that coin. Not a woman, not any of those things. But I am a man that's married, that has kids, and a Christian. So that's where that knowledge comes from. Now you can choose to use my knowledge, or you can choose to throw it away. I'm just saying, if you choose the latter, I'm sorry ahead of time, you're going to have a rough life. You are. Your relationship's not going to go well. Alright, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. As you can see, the sun's out. There's some clouds in the sky, but it's beautiful. It's 50 degrees. Open roads. It's been a pretty good day today. And the road will see you on my next video.